Social Science subject, Geography. Chapter 1, Part 10. This is basically a quick summary or a revision of the entire chapter that has been done with you. Are you ready to run through it? Very good. Let's start. Now, what are we going to do in this, our Earth, our living planet? We are going to revise the planets in the solar system. We are going to see the planets according to their size. Earth as a unique planet, having hydrosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere, the lines of latitudes, longitudes, time zones, and the international date line. We have covered all this in detail. This is going to be more of diagrams, an easy way of remembering things. Okay, children, shall we start? Here we go. Look at this picture. This has been drawn for you so that you understand clearly the planets. You can see here the distance is written in million kilometers. So we have shown you the sun here. This is Mercury, saying that is 57.9 million kilometers away from the sun. Venus 108.2 million kilometers. Earth 149.6 million kilometers. Mars 227.9 million kilometers. Jupiter 778.30 million kilometers. Saturn 1427 million kilometers. Uranus 2871 million kilometers and Neptune 4497.1 million kilometers. So what do you see? Where does the Earth lie compared to all this? It lies at a very, very good distance from the sun, neither too hot as Mercury nor too cold as Neptune. So our Earth is indeed a unique planet because of its position in the solar system. Next, you can see the size of the planets also. Mercury is the smallest. Next is Mars. Venus is bigger to it. Earth is next. Next comes Neptune. Then you have Uranus, Saturn and Jupiter. So this is in ascending order. If you see in descending order, our planet is the 5th largest planet in the solar system. Is that clear? Next. The hydrosphere. We have studied about hydrosphere and you have studied that our Earth has got a rich hydrosphere, very water in its liquid form. 361 million square kilometers of the Earth is water. That is equivalent to 71% water and 29% land. These diagrams, if you keep practicing again and again, you will be able to write the answers and draw these diagrams very well in the examinations. So land is 29%, water is 71%. The geographical area of the Earth is 510 million square kilometers and the ratio of water to land is 1:2.43. Is that clear? Alright. Land to water. The ratio of land to water is 1:2.43. Alright children, we proceed. Now look here. You have studied the 7 continents and the 5 oceans. You can see the continents here: North America, South America, Antarctica, Africa, Europe, Asia, Oceania. It's also called Australia. You have studied the largest and the smallest continent, etc. Now let's get familiarized with the location of the oceans. You have the Arctic Ocean right in the north over there. You can see as it appears. This is the Atlantic Ocean. Here you have the North Atlantic and the South Atlantic. This whole region is the Atlantic Ocean. Next, you have the Indian Ocean at the base of India. You have the Antarctic Ocean here. The Pacific Ocean. This is the largest and the deepest ocean. You have it here as well as here. This is the Pacific Ocean. So you have your 5 oceans. Arctic Ocean. You have your Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Antarctic Ocean and Indian Ocean. So you have your 5 oceans and 7 continents very clearly demarcated here. The Earth is a unique planet, one because of being at a very suitable distance from the Sun. It receives moderate amount of heat. It is neither too cold nor too hot. You saw that. You saw it has got a lot of water in the surrounding. 71% is water, 29% is land. What is the next important thing that we need? Atmosphere. That which is rich in oxygen. So here you have oxygen, here you have nitrogen, and this small thing here is argon and other important gases. So we have a good suitable atmosphere also. What else do we have? We have a lithosphere. What do we mean by lithosphere? You have studied. It's a rocky surface consisting of rocks, sand, soil, which is the basis of growing crops, and that is how you get food for all living creatures. Now let us see what are the various layers that you can see over here. Let's have a look. This is the inner core, the outer core, the mantle, the upper mantle, the crust, and this is the layer above it. So you can see that you have very important points here to tell you that the Earth is a unique planet. It is moderately distanced from the Sun. It has a suitable atmosphere. It has a good atmosphere, hydrosphere, a lot of water around it, and a lithosphere for it to grow crops. With all these things, life becomes possible on the Earth. Children, you had also studied something called latitudes. Now you studied it is the angular distance of a place north or south of the equator. Now see, I'm going to show you this. This is the geoid shape of the Earth on which this white line that you can see here is pointing out the angular distance of this is the angular distance. When the sun shines here, the angular distance is marked here. This is the equator. You will see all the important lines as they arise. You have Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees north. Then you have Arctic Circle, 66.5 degrees north. The North Pole, 90 degrees north. Then you have the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south. The Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degrees south. And then you have the South Pole, 90 degrees south. But you can't see the lines, right? Now look at the lines. You can see them one by one. Can you see the Arctic Circle? Can anyone tell me why the lines are dotted? Why aren't they continuous lines? They are imaginary lines. Very good. This is your equator. Next you have the Antarctic Circle. You can see the central line there. Then you have the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer, but they are not shown in the diagram. Next we go to see the characteristics of latitudes. What do we mean by characteristics of latitudes? I want to know what are latitudes, what are longitudes. Do I have to sit and learn everything by heart? There's a very easy way of doing it. Just watch. How many latitudes do you have? 90 in the north, 90 in the south. What kinds of lines are they? Imaginary. Next, what do? They help us to know distance. They are circles. They are parallels. They are 181 in number. How many? 181. They decrease in length as they move from the equator to the poles. Are they of the same length then? No. Now let's go to see how our Earth looks in the northern and the southern hemisphere. Just look at that. What is a hemisphere? Two portions, two semicircles. When I join them together, it's a circle. When I cut them into two equal halves, it becomes the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Which line divides it, children? Here is the equator. The equator divides the earth into the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Now this is, what do you think this diagram is now about? It is about longitudes. Very good. They are the lines of longitude. You can see the one semicircle drawn there already. Now see how this is completed. What is the line in the center called? The prime meridian, based on which the world time is adjusted. Havels, can you see that? It makes an angle of 90 degrees at the equator. And how are these lines? Yes, they are broad at the center and they converge at the poles. Very good. Now, how do we remember details about longitudes? Let's see that. Longitudes. What are the characteristic features of longitudes? Again, they are imaginary. They help us to know time. All lines are of equal length. They are semicircles. Very good. Broad at the equator, converge at the poles. They are 360 in number. 180 degrees in the east and 180 degrees in the west. There are so many lines. Have you understood, children? Is it easy for you to remember? Good. Now what is this? This is the time you can see at New York, London, Frankfurt, Tokyo and Hong Kong. They are all situated in different parts of the world, and based on the time zone you have different dates. The time zones. Here you have a question. What will be the time at 60 degrees west and 60 degrees east when it is 4 p.m. at 0 degrees? Here right in the middle you can see 0 degrees. You have to calculate 60 degrees west and 60 degrees east. You can see the solution here, but only after you work it out. So we go to the last part of this, the questions. Answer the following in your notebooks. Give reasons for the following. There are 181 lines of latitude, but only 360 lines of longitudes. All lines of latitudes are circles. The Earth is called a unique planet. Lines of longitudes are called meridians. The international date line is not a straight line. The Earth shape is oblate spheroid. Here you have a picture of the international date line stating that if you go from this side, from the east to the west, you gain a day. And if you move on from the west to the east, you lose a day. This is the western hemisphere. Here you have the eastern hemisphere. So you move from west to east, you lose a day. You move from east to west, you gain a day. One more set of questions. Give reasons for the following. There are 181, I have already done this. So repeat, children, the next one. With the help of a neat diagram, show the distance of the earth from the sun. Draw neat, well-labeled, self-explanatory diagrams. Important parallels of latitude. Water and land regions on the earth. Sizes of the planets in descending order. And show the characteristics of longitudes in a diagram. Thank you, students. Thank you.